welcome to another episode of Scared. We're back on Staten Island. And tonight, our crew is going to be investigating the Parsonage restaurant located in historic Richmond Town. Now, the owner and many of the patrons believe this place to be extremely haunted, which is why we were contacted. This time, we're going to do things a little bit differently. Tonight's investigation will consist of 3 teams. 2 psychic teams and 1 scientific team. The first psychic team will be headed up by Joe. He's our own reluctant psychic. The scientific team will be headed up by Brian. Now, while Joe relies on his senses, Brian's going to use an array of equipment in order to see if he comes up with the same findings. We also have with us tonight Cal Ferrante, a local professional psychic. Well, why 2 psychics? Well, what 1 psychic may find is definitely questionable, there's no doubt about that. But if 2 psychics find the same thing, that's a lot more credible. Well, all 3 teams are going to be isolated from each other throughout the night. This way they do not influence each other's findings. So now, turn off your lights, turn up the volume, get ready to be scared.
When something weird and don't look good, you know who I'm going to call? I'm going to call the guys that scared.
Located deep in the heart of historic Richmond Town on Staten Island, the Parsonage restaurant serves as a throwback to times of old, offering its patrons a one-of-a-kind dining experience and a glimpse into the borough's history. The Parsonage today is a unique and highly regarded establishment that is known not only for its fine dining and service, but for its rumored paranormal activity. However, its storied past goes much further and is deeply entwined with the history of Staten Island. While Staten Island was first sighted in 1524 by Giovanni di Verrazzano, it wasn't settled as a colony until the 1600s. At that time, it was the Dutch who laid claim to the island and named it. Since religion played a major part in everyday Dutch life, the Reformed Dutch Church of Staten Island was established shortly after. The colonists erected several churches over the years, the main one being built in 1769. This church years later was destroyed by the British during the Revolutionary War. Then, in 1808, it was rebuilt on the same grounds and still stands today. The building that houses the Parsonage restaurant was built in 1855 to serve as the home for the minister of the Reformed Dutch Church of Richmond Town. It was built on the grounds near the 1808 church and was home to the minister until the year 1875. Throughout its history, the building has been plagued with rumors of ghostly hauntings and strange happenings. These rumors are many, but remain unconfirmed. Why would such a building appear to be a magnet for spiritual activity? It is known that there was a cemetery on the grounds of the 1808 church. In 1885, there were 23 bodies exhumed from the site and relocated to the Moravian Cemetery. The remains of the deceased may no longer inhabit the grounds, but do their spirits linger?
I must admit, I was excited at the prospect of shooting at the Parsonage restaurant. It was a place where we actually had permission to film in. The only other place at that point where we had permission was the St. George Theater. So it's still kind of new for us to be invited somewhere and feel welcomed.
I was like, the staff was quite eager too. It was like they had a story to tell, some of them, and they were scared of the place too.
There was a lot of stories. They had said that they had silverware fly across the room, and that's poltergeist stuff.
I personally don't know of any specific rumors about the parsonage, but it's widely believed and it's widely known around the island that the parsonage is one of the legitimate haunted places on Staten Island.
Well, when I first started working here, all the other busboys used to tell me all these stories about how there were ghosts, and they used to play tricks on me. You know, like they used to tap on me from behind and run away and throw things from the windows. So I always figured that it was just, you know, the urban myth. I figured it never really meant anything.
I'm Richie. I've been a busboy at the Parsonage for 3 years. Supposedly there's a ghost in the attic. Never seen it, never heard it.
But what I found strange, because I started working last spring, is that last fall, I would go up into the attic and it would still be just as thick. It wasn't just the heat. So, I mean, you notice a direct change in the air when you go up there. It feels like there's something sort of pushing everything down.
Like, our old cook, our old dessert chef, supposedly heard someone. He said he seen someone's head poke out over here. His kitchen's right over there. He said he seen someone over here, and then he walked through the entire house with a knife. Didn't find anyone.
I often hear footsteps, and when I would sit downstairs by myself when I first started, I would always hear it, of course over the bar and over the chef's room, but mainly over this room. And I hadn't been working here too long, but I just knew that when I stepped into the second room downstairs, which is right under this one, that I would always hear the footsteps.
One time, I was in the bathroom, and it sounded like someone walked through the bar. No one was even in the restaurant but me.
You hear a glass break and there was no one around it, you know, you don't jump up, it's no big deal. You find it, you clean it up, and you get out of there as fast as possible.
The stories that I've heard were, a lot of them took place, well, actually, they said the main ones took place while there was a lot of people in the dining room. And that stuff would be literally just fly around the room or, like, you know, fly off the table. So, I mean, it seems to be when there's a lot of commotion, that's where it seems to be the most activity, supposed.
They won't see things flying, but they'll feel as if they're being touched, being poked, and it's obviously not by anyone sitting around them or any of the restaurant staff. So it's happened to a number of people that no one can confirm who or what it is. So.
Gianna was telling me that he's afraid to go in certain parts of it by himself.
Even in the day.
Are we almost there yet?
Yeah, you turn the block, make a right.
Workers who were supposed to stay a couple nights to do remodeling.
Oh, weren't there two teams?
Yeah, and they couldn't stay past the second night. They were so scared they left.
So are we gonna make it through the night, or are we gonna leave, or are we gonna stay?
Oh, we're staying, baby. There's no doubt. We're staying.
If we're leaving, it's feet first.
there is something supernatural, we're gonna find it. We had the place fairly saturated with detection equipment.
First initial test. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
We covered that place with cameras and microphones from the basement to the attic. If there was anything in there to find, we would have found it. I don't think anybody could have did any better job than we did that night.
We've set up multiple cameras throughout the parsonage. One is in the basement, one is in the attic, one is in the hallway, and there's at least 2 others, I believe. The cameras are recording themselves, but they have a feed into the laptop. We can select the feeds and view each camera here.
We're getting ready to film all night in this place. Nobody's leaving. Nobody's punking out. We're ready to do this, baby.
Carol, good to see you again.
Normally, I'll get impressions or feelings, and they'll put their thoughts into my head, and they're just lost, and they just need someone to guide them where they'll finally be at peace. There are some spirits that are harder than others to get rid of.
You know how to do that?
Yes, I know how to do that. What I would do is, first of all, I prepare. I usually have my own ritual that I do. I like to do a meditation. I say different types of prayers. This is called sage. Well, this is a sage stick, okay, as you see. And I swear by the sage because it is a cleanser and it helps spirit to move on. I hope that this is a really good, turnout. In this room, there is a female spirit. Her name is not Gertrude, Gretchen. She's 32 years old, and she died of polio.
In every room, he has something to say, and something scary to say about, who's there. It's what she sees and feels.
And there's a little girl here, and I feel that the little girl's in the basement.
At one point, Greg and Carol heard what they claimed to be footsteps upstairs in the attic.
In this room, and what's funny is she likes being behind the bar as a barmaid. Her name is Hazel. She died in her 40s, but she's a happy-go-lucky spirit, and she just likes being here. She likes the restaurant. So.
Making that noise. I don't mean that noise. You hear footsteps?
Yeah.
Carol and I heard footsteps upstairs when there was no one else in the house. It was me and her and the cameraman, who was Chris, and we were all in the same room.
You gotta remember, the parsonage, it's well over 100 years old, if not more. So places like that will settle. There's always kind of bumps.
Her name is Hazel. She died in her 40s, but she's a happy-go-lucky spirit. And she just likes being here. She likes the restaurant. So.
Making that noise. I don't mean that noise.
It's upstairs.
You hear footsteps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the guy upstairs.
Did you hear that? Clear as day, footsteps in the attic. No reason, no one's there. Fact, no one was there. Scary. I myself expected to be scared. I didn't feel happy in there at all. And I was hearing sounds all over. This room, the lights, I was up here alone and the lights dimmed. And I heard a clang. I believe it was the ice in the glass melting though, but I did hear a clang. Is anything going on in this room?
Okay, well, it's the woman that's behind the bar.
I heard it from that wall. I heard...
Spirit, they like, especially if they're jokesters, they like to play jokes.
Scare other people?
Yes. Oh. Either they go through electricity, they can go through clocks. If they had power when they were alive, and they have enough power to get, in this dimension, they'll be able to move, knock something over to get your attention. If spirit is trying to get a message to you, they will do whatever it takes to get that message across to you. Sometimes people are so oblivious, they don't pay attention when someone's knocking on the door trying to talk to them.
And the attic, he was scared in the attic, which scared me, of course.
Well, first of all, I feel like I'm having a problem breathing. He's not happy. And he just feels that this is his domain. He's just very angry. He's a very angry spirit. What I would probably do is I would go through and I would sage the entire house. But, you know, it's an establishment, it's a restaurant, I can't, you know, do that. So I'm gonna have to try to do this on my own time to, you know, get them to. He's gonna be hard. I'm gonna have to call in some help. Actually, I feel like I have someone's hands on my throat.
It just sends a chill up my spine.
I just think we better go downstairs.
And the atmosphere really, it's like it really backed up my fear. I didn't feel happy in there at all.
They do try to communicate, but there are a lot of people that don't believe or they're just closed-minded.
My impression of Carol is that she's extremely in tune. She feels things, she hears things, sees things. She is on a different level than I am.
Okay, we're gonna start my investigation at the parsonage and just hopefully see what we can find. Let's go inside. Now, from the moment I walked in to the moment I left, I felt activity throughout the place. Let me just stay there.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just go over here. Oh, come here, cold spot. I just had it. We'd be in a room, and all of a sudden you'd feel a temperature drop, like right by you. I feel energy.
I just got
energy
cold in my face.
I feel a lot of energy right here. It's got to be like right around here. This presence.
I just felt like the cool breeze on my face. There's no draft here. There's nothing. It's in the middle of the building.
There was a lot going on, so there was a lot of energy in there, good or bad.
A slight
I
breeze.
felt it right here, right where I'm standing here.
All right. If I'm not mistaken, he's like right here, somewhere right here. Right here. Now also throughout the course of the night, we kept hearing things. Did you hear the stair creak?
Mm-hmm.
He's gone back up the stairs, but he's not far. He's like midsection of the stairs right now. Well, let's go up there, man. And it was really astounding because we kept running into them. Every few minutes on our investigation, we'd run into another cold spot. And I know I'm not crazy. I was with Jay, and Jay would feel them too. It's really cold.
I know.
Here.
I feel it.
You feel the cold over here?
I felt it over there.
Do you feel the cold?
I feel it right here on my face. It's right on my forehead.
Wow. Yeah, I feel cold right
Is that
here.
window drafty? Check the window, see maybe the window's drafty.
Not at all.
Because there's no.
At least I can tell really quick. No, there's no draft. You could actually see your breath. You could actually feel a difference on your skin.
I'm getting certain spots. I can't feel the energy you're talking about though, but the cold I could definitely feel.
It's right here. It's right here. Yep. Wow, it's right here.
I just got really scared. Whatever he was doing just scared the piss out of me.
I'm sensing 3 men, and what I believe is a young girl, a child. I also got a lot of sensations of children, like the spirits of children around. I'm sensing the little girl again. It's the same little girl, I'm pretty sure. She's young. She had some type of, I think it's a ball that she's lost and she's looking for it. But I can tell you that one spirit was particularly angry and he did not want us here. I believe he's just annoyed by our presence here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the common case with most people that do come in here. He gets annoyed that they're here.
That place, as small as it was, walking around in there, you were still looking over your shoulder.
We turned all the lights off, went on our investigation, and we found lights on.
I was filming from the mouth of the bar area into the wine room. And I'm looking in my LED screen on my camera, and all of a sudden it goes yellow, which means all the cameras are set, which means the lighting changed.
I'm also
Did you
sent.
see that?
What?
The light just went brighter.
What light?
In there.
The light's off in there.
And I very slowly turn around.
The light just went. The light's on, man. No one's here. The fucking light is now on.
The lights were off. And we can prove that on tape. The lights were
The
off.
fucking light just went on, man. Holy shit, dude.
Now, the only person in that building besides me was Joe, and Joe was standing in front of the camera. The light alone doing that proved to me enough that something happened.
Somebody in here was angry. It was a male spirit, and he seemed very, very angry.
Walk over it, don't worry. Just stay with me here. Stay there. Stay right there.
Do you think if they stuck a new house on this property, there'd still be activity because of the property it's on?
It could be. Could be. I mean, there's numerous things that attract the spirits. A lot of it has to do with people to some extent, and some of it has to do with the surroundings. There's something, there's a spirit around here that I can't see very clearly.
Oh!
You right?
No, man.
Dude, are you fucking kidding me?
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, man.
Do you want to get out of here?
I think so, man.
All right.
My head bad.
I didn't know if it was from something happening, him just falling. I just got really scared.
And all of a sudden, before I could even blink, I was on the floor picking myself up. I have no idea what I tripped on. I mean, I could even been pushed for all I know.
The investigation all night has included some scientific elements, whereas we've been trying to capture as much as we can on video as well as audio. I'm going to head to the basement first. It's important to note when using an EMF detector that normal household appliances like your TV, your refrigerator will give off electromagnetic fields. So if you're by a refrigerator and you're detecting something, probably detecting last night's leftovers. There's a lot of power lines down here, so anything that I'm detecting right now is that. Alright, let's move on. Let's see what we can get on the recorder here. We're on the first floor, we're in one of the dining rooms. Is there any spirit here that would like to make contact with us? Obviously, I'm not going to ask a question and have things fly off the room or hear a voice going, yes, I'd like to, complain about the room I got in hell, but supposedly in analyzation of the tapes, you're supposed to, check over things, and supposedly that's when you find things, when levels are amplified, when everything, all the data on this has been checked. Maybe we might find something, maybe we won't. Something else to remember when you're looking for ghosts? Right now we're in a restaurant, and you might be thinking, well, what could be possibly so scary about a restaurant? People eat here, people are here all the time. This structure may not have always been here. There could be a lot of history on the site, if not necessarily the building. So anything that may have remained may integrate itself with the current structure that's there. And a lot of times, supposedly, that's what hauntings are. Echoes or after effects from those past events. We're gonna see if we can't find some. Is there any spirit in this room that would like to make its presence known?
EVPs stand for Electronic Voice Phenomenon. Disembodied voices and sounds imprinted on audio recording devices.
Is there anyone in here who would like to answer the phone? Who's calling here at 2:13 in the morning? Pick it up.
Pick it up.
What's the owner's name?
Just say Parsonage Brian.
No, but what's the owner's name?
Paul.
Parsonage Brian speaking. Oh no. It's tough, to be honest. You know, how do you search for something that's intangible? Almost as if to say, you know, if we keep finding nothing time after time after time, why keep looking? I think the question that everyone has to ask themselves is, you know, you want to find out, you want to be scared. You want to find something, you want us to find something, but if you ever did find something, what would you do about it? Would you know what to do? I know I wouldn't. I'm about to go up in the attic. And for some reason, I really don't want to. Teams found. I'm coming up nothing here.
You know, focus all the technology we have on this one location, and I didn't get any readings. It's not to say there wasn't anything there.
My official report, I have detected nothing abnormal in the EMF detector, which again doesn't mean anything other than I didn't detect anything.
Concerning the psychics on the team, it's hard being the skeptic and being the man of science in the crew. I only report on what I find, and if I don't find anything, it doesn't disprove what we're looking for. However, with Joe and Carol, they're operating on a different set of rules.
There was a lot of different things said. Some things matched, some things didn't.
I really can't comment on their abilities per se, because right now it's not something I can measure.
But I mean, come on, sometimes things are just unexplainable and everything can't be perfect. They can't be by the numbers.
The psychics felt things and they said things and they agreed on things when they were isolated.
I think they saw whatever they wanted to see.
I believe that they believe what they're seeing or hearing.
Not to say that they're not experiencing the things they feel, but it's very hard to quantify, and that's where we clash a lot of times. In going over the recordings that we took at the parsonage, both the EVP audio readings and the EMF readings we took, as well as the video, I'd have to say we got kind of mixed results. The EVPs didn't find anything. There was no anomalous sounds, there was nothing that was out of the ordinary that wasn't us.
I spent hours, endless amount of hours, watching the footage and looking to see if anything unusual did show up on the film, and I have to admit that I didn't see anything unusual.
However, the EMF detector, and this is a scene you'll see, inexplicably, we're all just sitting around the room, and it was towards the end of the night. We were about to wrap, and I'm sitting there, I look down, and the EMF detector spikes for no reason.
All right, well, I'm getting a partial reading here for seemingly no reason. Although there shouldn't be that much of a reading this high. It's fairly consistent.
And the entire crew is now huddled around this detector, and we're following it through the air, tracking nothing.
Move around in here, Brian.
And there's nothing there. We're following a ghost because there's nothing there. You know, we're chasing shadows.
We thought we heard something, and Joe had thought that he had felt something.
Ask again, Joe.
Is there any spirits here who would like to speak to us?
We'd be in a room, and all of a sudden, you could actually feel the temperature dropping.
A burst of cold just went right through.
Yeah, dude, I just felt it. That was
I'm not even getting 2 bars on this anymore.
Dude, it just got really fucking cold.
It did. Wow. A blast went by.
From here, yes?
It went like. Yeah,
Go into the room.
Like it went past. Yeah.
I'm feeling it actually right here. Cold air.
My hand is still cold.
I know.
Why is my hand
just
still
cold
cold?
right here, dude?
No, my hand is still cold.
Just put the flashlight in case we need more light, because he's gonna run out of light.
My hand is still cold, like I touched something cold.
This whole area, which previously was red, now is nothing. I'm getting no reading from here whatsoever.
You could take the EMF detector and bring it back to where it originally started, and there was no signal. So it's not like it was a power line under the floorboard. It's not like it was the refrigerator. So it was something that moved, and we weren't moving it.
You got it?
Yeah, keep
I'm not getting any readings, but I feel cold in here. Is anything open up here?
Damn! It's fucking.
feel that?
Oh shit!
Wow, I do. What, yo?
Okay, well.
I definitely
Is
feel
there a
that.
window open in here?
See, I'm not picking up anything, but just cold alone, I can't exactly
No draft coming from the window.
speculate on.
That was like this one string of events that took place over the course of 20 minutes that was very exciting.
And all of a sudden, it sounded just as if somebody was walking down the attic stairs.
Shh.
Somebody's still coming down the steps?
Yeah.
I heard a moan or something.
It sounds
Go,
like someone
go,
was
Chris. And then stop when you try. It's right
It
there.
sounds like something was coming down the steps after us. Like it sounds like someone's still walking down the stairs.
And we all got, it was all of us in the doorway looking up the stairs into the attic, holding mics, holding lights, holding cameras, and we were dead silent. And there was a lot of tension. And I think that looked great. Like we all banded together. It was like we were all zeroed in as one thing, whatever it was.
I definitely heard that.
Everybody has their own definition of what a haunting is. A haunting can be a playful ghost. A haunting can be a ghost that just appears from time to time. A spirit that moves things, a spirit that's malevolent.
I really, really, really doubt there's any paranormal activity in that place whatsoever, and it's kind of disappointing.
I really don't believe the parsonage is haunted.
Unfortunately, I didn't see anything or hear anything that's remotely close to being paranormal activity.
It may not be haunted by an evil spirit, it may not be haunted by poltergeist, but there is activity going on.
I saw enough to make me think it's definitely possible. Because things happen that we can't explain. We heard things, we saw things.
Out of all the places we've been, I would say that it probably is.
Of every spot we've been to, this is probably the most hauntings I've seen or felt.
Here at the Parsonage, it feels very nice, very calm area. There is a lot of activity. Some of it is negative, but on the overall, it's good.
Next time on Scared.
These places get lost in time. Oh, there was 40-foot walls surrounding the entire place.
I really shouldn't have been there. And all of a sudden, I'm hearing like, yo!
It was meant to inspire fear, penitence, and all those emotions of dread.
What was that? What was that? Something is making noise. And of course, if you're on your own, it's the worst it could possibly be. It's a ghost, it's a murderer. It's something bad coming up behind me.
And welcome to another episode of Scared. We're back on Staten Island. You believe that?
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
I think if it wasn't for my muscles, I would have made it out alive.
Tonight, we're going to be investigating the Parsonage restaurant. It's located in historic Richmond Town. I fucked it up again, didn't I? God damn it.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Start with K. Blah, blah, blah.
Tonight's investigation.
Marijuana affects the memory.
That's a lie.
So, Chris, what'd you tell me to make a point about? I got.
Scan of Staten Island is sponsored in part by.
And then,
Tonight, we're gonna be investigating the Parsonage restaurant. This place. Fuck, I had it!
Don't be scared with your deli meats. Go to the bagels.
Now, the owner and many of the patrons believe this place is extremely haunted. Come on!
I didn't get laid, but we'll get around that.
So, a lot more.
Watch your footage. Stop being a geek.
Yeah, people like that.
hey, well, come on, we're trying to be serious here. This is stupid.
Get ready to be scared, baby. Ah!